Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with a Project Life spread using Studio Calico products. So it's a little bit of a different video. I've been doing a lot of my kit review series videos here recently, but I had all of my Studio Calico supplies in a little pouch together, as you saw. So I decided to go ahead and pull those out and make a layout with them. After this layout is done, I decided to go ahead and separate all the supplies and put them in my stash so I can use these products with other products as well. But I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and just use them on one layout first. So I'm going to use some photos from August of 2015, and this is when my nephew Finn was born. He was born in August, and I do have a bunch of 12 by 12 spreads dedicated to his birth as well, but I wanted to also, of course, include it in my Project Life. And then I have some photos that aren't necessarily like 12 by 12 worthy, but I do want to include them in my albums, of course. So I have this photo of my younger sister, her husband, and their son Finn, and he is their firstborn, and he is the third grandson on my side. And so you'll see I'm going to play off that number 3 here in a moment on one of the 3x4 cards. So I'm just kind of flipping through the cards, and you're going to see I literally go through like every card here. And I pull out a bunch of them before I really decide what I want to use. I'm pulling out gray and blue and some red, but the red's going to end up going away, and I'm pretty much just going to use a couple pops of pink. But I flip through all of the cards first before I really decide this. Make sure you stay tuned until the end because I do have a giveaway included with this video of Studio Calico supplies as well. In looking through all my Studio Calico products, there are a couple things that I had duplicates of, as well as a couple things that I just don't think that I'll use. So I'm going to pass those along to another person. Maybe one of you can use them, or might love them, or might be looking for something in particular. But either way, it's going to be a giveaway, and it's open to anyone. But I will have all the details of that at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned at the end, because I'll flip through what's going to be in the giveaway, and then I'll also tell you all of the details of that. So I flip through, I found all these cards, and I go ahead and start deciding on which ones I want to use. I'm going to use this number 3 here, right under the picture of Kaylin, my nephew Walter, and then of course our new nephew Finn. He was new in this photo anyways. Now there's actually 4 grandsons. There's one younger than Finn now, but at the time he was the youngest. There were just 3 of them, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to use over there. You see I like do this little card shuffle there for a little while trying to decide, but I end up settling on these cards. So I have a number 3 on like a white brick background. I have this really pale blue with hearts on it. It's like outlined hearts in white. And then the card where Finn is sitting, like that picture, that close-up picture of Finn, is just a gray and white border on a card. It was actually like one of the advertisements of the Studio Calico, like a new line that was coming out at the time. So I keep that there, and it's just enough to create a border around his photo, but you can't see the advertisement at all. And then the last card on the left is a card that says, "Dear blank, keep being awesome, love me." And then this top card is the only one that's not a full 4x6 photo. So it's actually like I think it's like a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square photo. And then I cut down this 3x4 card that said, it looks like it's supposed to be kind of like a constellation, and it's got hearts and stars. And it says, "You are my sun, my moon, and all of my stars." And then I'm going to embellish this card just a little bit. As you can see, I always have a little pile of scraps when I've been working with a kit, so this is no different. I'm using those same little scraps to embellish other cards. I really like doing that. And sometimes I keep those little strips of scraps when I'm working with non-kits, but most of the times I do that when I'm working with kits, which is really kind of unfortunate because I use those little scraps all the time, but I also can't keep every single tiny little scrap that I ever have. I keep a lot of scraps, now don't get me wrong, but I can't keep all of them. But when I'm working with a kit, I keep everything because I might need to use it at the end whenever cards and embellishments are sparse. I might need to use those little strips of paper. I want to apologize if y'all can hear Kaylin. He is playing in the background. It's a rainy day here, so we are inside, not doing a whole lot, and I'm just kind of catching up on a couple things like voiceovers and comments on my YouTube channel and things like that. So if you hear him playing, no worries. He's just playing. He was in there. I don't know what he was doing. He must have been dancing, but he was making like karate noises. So if you hear that, do not worry. My child is fine. He's just playing. So I embellished that top one with a little vellum arrow and then some sequins, and that pretty much finishes that top card. I'm going to add one more thing, but I don't do that till a little bit later. So there were these little labels in this teal, and they had gold numbers on them. And I really like the teal, but I don't know what I would number. If I number anything, it would start with the number 1. So since I just wanted to use that teal strip itself, I pulled it off the very end. So I think I used number 31 or 32 or something like that. I think it was 31. I just used the part of that, and then I cut off the number piece of that. But I'm going to use that here at the bottom and layer it under a chipboard piece. There's this black and white chipboard banner that has a heart on it, and that's all that's going to go on this very bottom photo. I didn't want to take up too much space because I think the embellishment would look funny if it was too close to either Finn or Ernest's face, so that one's pretty simple. So I have this card with the 3 on it, and I'm referencing the 3 boys in the top photo, and it's just going to say 3 cute boys, and I'm using both of the alphas that were in my little Studio Calico bag here. Of course, they're Studio Calico alphas, and I am going to put a hashtag in front of the number 3, so it's going to say hashtag 3 cute boys. And then at the very top on the photo of the 3 boys, I used another chipboard piece that says rare and treasured. And then I'm going to layer it over that piece of that teal, not banner, but label that I cut off. There is one thing that I added to these products that were not originally in the products. Actually, there were a few things. I added ink because I'm going to do... Actually, I don't do any stamping. What? Oh yeah, I do some stamping using one of the roller date stamps. So I'm going to use some Smoky Shadow ink from Paper Tray Ink, and I'm also going to use some Kaiser Craft Mini Alpha stickers. They're like micro mini alpha tiles or something. And then the sequins were not in the kit, but not in my Studio Calico bag. But other than that, everything was from Studio Calico kits that I had either previously received or ones that I had got. Like when they were really cheap or something like that. So this card, I put that chipboard piece that says get lost, and I really like the bright lime green. So it says get lost and cause trouble. And then I put a strip of that pink card that I had matted the top photo on, just to bring a little bit of that pink over here. So there's pink on the top, matted under the photo of my sister and her family. There's pink under, or on the word cute, using those alphas, and then there's this pink strip here, and then I'm going to also use another pink alpha on that card that says dear blank. I'm going to fill in that blank, and then there's going to be a little bit of pink on the bottom left photo. So I have little pops of pink everywhere without it being so bold. Probably the boldest piece of pink is this strip under the cause trouble. This layout actually took me a little bit longer to do than normal, which is kind of funny, but I think I was just enjoying it so much. I wasn't in any kind of rush. I was just kind of playing around with the products. And then this washi tape that you can see, it's got all the little pieces here. I am trimming out this part that says hashtag happy, and I'm going to use it on this card here. And then I'm also going to use the hashtag this, which I don't think you actually see me cut out. And then I also cut just a simple hashtag off and put it in front of the 3 cute boys. So I like the fact that the washi tape has a whole bunch of different words, because you can use them for different things. And then I just roll up the piece that I cut off. I just roll it back onto the edge, on the outside of the washi tape. So I'll have a couple, loose pieces on the outside of that washi tape, but still definitely usable. And so what it says is dear boys, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to add, using my Kaiser Craft mini tile, micro mini tile alphas or whatever they're called, I'm going to put dear little boys, keep being awesome, love me. And then it says hashtag happy, and that's going to finish off that card there to the left. I was going to find my alphas, which is where I am right now. I couldn't figure out which little tile alphas I want to use, but I'm going to end up pulling out the Kaisercraft Micro Mini Tile Alphas. See, I'm trying a bunch of different ones, trying to decide if any of them will work. I have my box of alphas on the floor beside me. Okay, so I have a dilemma, guys. I have a hard time flipping through that box because it's so heavy. I can't really like pick it up and put it on my desk all the time. I can, but it takes up a lot of space. So if I have a project out on my desk, I can't pick it up and put it on my desk. And it fits really well on the floor right next to me, and that's actually how I use it. Like, it's easy just to pull from. But it would be a lot better if it was higher so I can just kind of flip through it and then walk and just turn right to my desk. So I had a thought, and I think I'm crazy, and I know Ernest thinks I'm crazy, but I had thought about getting a Raskog to put that on top of. But I really don't need another shelf or cart or anything in my office. Like my walls are covered. I have 2 full walls basically covered in shelves and my desk. Actually 3 walls if you think about the computer desk. I have 3 walls covered in like shelves and tables and desks and stuff. So like, really, do I need a Raskog that floats around in the middle of the room? No, I don't. But it would really help to have my alpha box off the floor. I don't know. I think I'm losing my mind. I really don't need it. I probably need to clean off the top of one of my shelves and just put it on the shelf at like, shoulder height, or not shoulder height, probably like waist height. Yeah, there we go, waist height. So I can flip through it and not have to like sit on the floor every time I want to flip through the box. If y'all think, okay, so I don't know, maybe I should, if I ask your opinion, y'all are going to all say get the Raskog, which is what I don't need to do. I don't know. Never mind. Tell me, do you think I should just clean off a shelf, or do you think I should get the Raskog to float around in the middle of the floor? I know what my husband thinks. He thinks I do not need a Raskog. Every time we go to IKEA, and we probably go to IKEA 3 or 4 times a year, because it's not very close. It's like 3 hours away. But it's like we pass it on the way to my mom's house. So every time we go there, I look at the Raskogs and I'm like, I could use it. My mom even bought one to use at her house, and it didn't work for what she thought it was going to work for. So she had a moment where she had asked me if I wanted it. And then I think she decided to keep it. So like there have been so many moments where I never told her yes, because I was debating myself if I even needed it. But there have been so many moments where I have almost purchased one or almost gotten one. Like, it's a little ridiculous. I almost feel like it's fate that I have one because it's come up so many times. But I know I'm being ridiculous. It's just when you want one, and you find a need to have it. And I have a need to have it, but I don't really need it. So anyways, okay, so back to the layout. I've added a few things, mostly just the alphas. So that top one, the top right photo that has that chipboard that says rare and treasured, I put alphas under that onto the teal banner, and it just says cousin time. So rare and treasured, cousin time. They hang out a lot when we're together, but we're not always together, and they live 3 hours away. All of my family really lives 3 hours away. We're the only ones that live in the Raleigh area. Everybody else lives in the Charlotte area. So anytime we go there, we have fun. But that's the only time they really see each other, either then or when they come up here. And of course, when we go to the beach, because we always go to the beach together. So I have this one label that says loving on it, and it was so long, I cut off the end, and then I recut the end to make it look like the label. And then I'm putting an edge of one of those gray labels on the photo with Finn. And then I took one of those vellum arrows. I just had to back it on some white cardstock because you couldn't see it on this photo. Those vellum, they're really cool, but you have to put them on a light paper that doesn't have any kind of busy background. Otherwise, you can't see it. So I wanted to use this stamp, and I just had to make sure I was stamping it properly to where you would be able to see the whole thing, and it wouldn't be like real heavy inked on one side but not the other side. And it basically just says fall in love with moments. And then I have the arrow. And I'm just going to layer up a few pieces of paper under this banner that says loving. I just wanted a little bit something there without it looked funny with just the banner sticking off of it. I fiddled around a lot with this layout. I really was just enjoying myself, as I think I mentioned this before. I feel like I've said this before already, but oh, that's where I use that hashtag this, overlapping that constellation heart. And it's gold, so it's very kind of subtle when you look at it from a certain angle, but when the light hits the word this, you can see it because it's written in gold. I'm just kind of like flipping through, trying to decide what I want, not in any kind of rush whatsoever. But really just kind of enjoying myself. This layout was so much fun to make, and I went ahead and, as I mentioned, dispersed the Studio Calico products throughout the rest of my stash. Because I had them sitting here and I wasn't really using them as they were. I used them for this layout, but I haven't really pulled them out and used them very much because they sit in a little like container together. So I decided to go ahead and put it out in my stash. That way I'll use it whenever I'm making other layouts, because I pull from my stash a lot when I'm using the kit review series. I don't pull a bunch of things, but I'll pull 1 or 2 things out pretty commonly whenever I'm using a kit in my kit review series. So I want to make sure that I have all of these products accessible to me as well if I pull something from my stash. That way I can use it. So I'm pretty much just finishing up, cleaning up, seeing if there's anything else that I want to add, and that's pretty much going to finish it off. Stay tuned just another moment. I'm cleaning everything up. That way I can show you the giveaway that I'm going to include for my giveaway. So give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have a giveaway for y'all. I have this box that I have kind of filled up with a few products from Studio Calico. And these are just things that I've gotten in various Studio Calico kits. Some of them are partial supplies, but most of them, well, you can't really tell if they're partial or not because they're all loose supplies. So I have this washi tape that I just kind of pulled out and showed you, and I'm just rolling it back up. That's going to be included. I'm going to flip through everything here. There's this house with a bunch of little rain clouds, and I took a few of the acetate pieces out of here, but this house, the rain cloud, and I think like an umbrella or something is left in here, so that's as well. Today, this video is going up today, which is Sunday the 16th of October, and this is going to run until Saturday the 22nd, and I'll do my drawing on Sunday the 23rd. So it will run to, I guess, when I do my video on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all you have to do is you have to be a subscriber, so make sure you are subscribed. And I don't care where you live. I will ship wherever. Whoever wins, I will ship wherever you are. And so you have to be a subscriber. Let me see. What do I want you to do? Okay, so you have to be a subscriber, and in order to enter the giveaway, you have to leave a comment below, and you have to tell me, what do I want to do? Okay, you have to tell me who your favorite manufacturer is. So I have a ton of favorite manufacturers. I really love Echo Park. I also really like, oh gosh, there's a bunch that I really like. Probably Echo Park may be my favorite. I just really like their kind of, they have some really fun designs, especially for kids. They've got a lot of like playful looking designs, I guess you can say, and I like their quality, of course. I also really love Ellie's Studio. Let me think. Those might be my 2 favorite. I think those are my 2 favorite. But anyways, so tell me who your favorite manufacturer is, and then that will enter you in for the giveaway. So just make sure you're a subscriber. Make sure you enter in the correct time frame anytime between now and 3 o'clock on Saturday, October 22nd. And then I will do my drawing on the 23rd and hopefully have the video up for you on the 23rd. And just make sure you leave the comment telling me who your favorite manufacturer is. just going to finish flipping through the rest of the cards here, and then that will be it. You will receive everything that you see here on the screen, not the little bag of stuff that I just used, but the things that I just flipped through, and they will be in this box for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this layout, and I hope you enjoy this giveaway, whoever wins. Please give me a thumbs up if you like it, and then also make sure you're subscribed so you can be entered into my giveaway when you leave a comment. All right, guys, have a great afternoon. Bye.